Okay. Thank you. All right. I'm looking for a name that I don't have. What's that guy's name again? For those in the media area, tip time for the Northern Kentucky game will be 10:04. Thank you. Ten oh four. Tip off time. Oh, no. We won't know until later. Yeah. I announced. Yeah. Just a reminder to silence all your cell phones. No recording from any device is allowed. 10:07 now? Correction then? We have a correction, and the starting time of the second game will be at 10:07. Wichita State is on its way. Congratulations. Okay, we've been joined by Wichita State, and we will open with an opening statement from Coach Marshall, and then we will take questions for the coach and the athletes. So, Coach?
Okay, first of all, I want to praise Archie Miller and the Dayton Flyers and those 4 seniors for all they've done for that university, for that program, and for college basketball the last 4 years. So, and it's even been longer than that for Coach Miller, but those dudes are warriors. They're tough. Scoochie Smith was incredible tonight with 25 points, but I'm really also proud of these young men to my right, and they made the plays to help us beat a very good team.
Okay, if you'll raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you right here.
Bob Lutz, Wichita Eagle. For any of the players, it's been a while since you've been in a hard-fought, close, tough game like this. What was the reaction to it, and how did you overcome that?
Zach, we'll start with you.
Yeah, you're right. It's definitely something a little brand new to us from how we've seen in the Missouri Valley. But I don't know. We just grinded it out. It was a tough game. Dayton Flyers are an amazing team. I've been watching Scoochie Smith since high school. All these other guys, all these dudes that he's been playing with, they had vets on the team that's won a lot of games, you know. And it was really hard fought. You know, none of it came easy. The only thing we were able to do was able to just stop their runs, stop as many runs as we could, execute when we needed to, and just maintain the lead for as long as we could. But all in all, it was a big grind. And I'm proud of everybody, like Coach said, for overcoming not the deficit, but overcoming just the challenge of being in a close game.
Questions, please, right here.
Greg, they went 8 for 29 in the second half. What adjustments did you make, if any, defensively?
Question for Coach.
Well, they scored two real quick baskets in the second half. We blew a switch one time, and they got an easy one. And then Shaq Morris went for a steal and gave him Pollard a dunk. After that, if they didn't get it in transition, our half-court defense was incredible. But once we built the lead, I said all along, they're an elite transition team, and they were getting it out and spraying it up and attacking before we could get our defense set. So they're really, really good at it, but I doubt they're any better than the 2 teams that are playing right now. So we'll have to continue to improve and get back and set our defense, because we're pretty good once we're in a set defense.
Right here. Yeah.
Greg, I'll ask you the same question I asked the players. You've always prided your program on toughness, but there have been so many lopsided games. Did you have any doubts about how your team would react to a tight game like this?
I didn't doubt. I was disappointed in the first half. I thought we were playing passively. I thought we were not executing. The 3 words that I talk about, verve, vigor, and vitality, we didn't have those things. And we played with much better energy and passion in the second half. We were tremendous on the glass. I think we were plus 19 on the glass against a veteran, tough team. And even though we turned the ball over way too many times, we blocked 8 shots. I mean, we were at one stretch, I think Marcus McDuffie and Rashard Kelly, they were just pinning things against the glass. A big play was Landry Shamit's block in transition, where Kelly sprinted back and got the defensive rebound. That was a huge play.
Over here.
James Ernest, Grueling Truth. This is for Coach. How important was the bench tonight?
Oh, our bench has been key all year. I mean, we've gone 10 deep all year, and we will continue to go 10 deep. I thought even Austin Reeves, who only played 4 minutes, was probably a season low in a game that he's participated in, hit 2 big free throws. Everybody that played contributed. 10 of those guys, and the 6 guys that did not play, and I've got 2 in the stands. We can only have 14 on the bench, so I've got 2 in the stands. They all contributed to this win as well. And this is a true definition of a team. These guys love each other. If I don't follow them, I don't have the Instagram, but my daughter does, and she follows them, and she showed me some of the things that they posted going into this game and what it means to them, and it would bring tears to your eyes if you knew them.
Right here.
Richard and Zach, you guys went to a kind of a different lineup about the last 6 minutes with you three, Marcus and Rano. Looked like a really good defensive lineup. Why was that effective over that last stretch of the game?
Richard, we'll start with you.
It was more so just what we needed at the time. Some length to bother their guards, and Rano, he's a mobile five-man, so he's able to hedge and get back. And they was kind of eating us up at first with that in the first half, so we just had to dig deep and get some stops. So that was the matchup and the lineups Coach went with, and they followed through.
Zach?
I gotta agree with Richard. They had guys like Pollard and a lot of big guys that can move really well. And when Shaq got in foul trouble, Ronald really stepped up. And made some big plays, which people wouldn't think of big plays. But we go back and watch film, and we're like, yeah, Ronald, you was in the right position. Richard, you was in the right position. You made a winning play. And we just do what we do all year. Just try and guard our man the best we can, be in the right positions where we need to be. And, Coach made the right decision, like he usually does, and putting the right lineup in.
Right here.
Landry, it was really hard for the guards in the first half tonight to find openings, to get Connor open, to get you open. What were there adjustments made that helped free that up a little bit in the second half?
Question for Landry.
We tweaked a few things in the second half. First half, we as guards me personally, I just didn't play very well. Didn't play good enough to have us a lead or whatever. And we tweaked a few things in the locker room as far as offense goes to try to get Connor some open looks and really kind of manipulate their defense a little bit. So we just tweaked a couple things.
Right here. Yep.
Hey, Zach, shooting like this tonight, does that come into the category of all the extra time you spend after practice really paying off in a situation like this?
For Zach?
Yeah, it is. Every day, just about every day, I try to get in as many shots as I can after practice. I got to thank Matt and Grant, Tommy, all the managers that really stayed in with me. All those extra hours of me just staying behind and getting up as many as I can, different types of shots. And one thing I haven't really been good in this year was shooting while moving. It's been kind of tough for me to shoot, off of screens or anything, or instead of just shooting stationary shots. So, yeah, I say it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Hard work pays off, just like Ron said. So.
Right here.
For Zach and Landry, it's hypothetical at this point because they're playing right now, but if you get a chance to face Kentucky, what would it take to beat a team like that?
Zach?
Repeat the question, please. Sorry.
It's about potentially playing Kentucky.
Basically, yeah, playing Kentucky. What would it take to beat a team like Kentucky if they advanced and you end up facing them Sunday?
It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot. We've definitely seen them play. Everybody's seen Kentucky play this year. You know that they have guys that could take you off the bounce at any time. They're really good. They're really good defensively, and they get out in transition. So we're really gonna have to get back. It's gonna be a grind. It really is, because they're not gonna back down, just like we're not. And it's gonna be a classic game. We're all excited for it, and we can't wait.
We're going to go right over here, and then we'll come back.
Yeah, just to follow up on Myron's question for Zach and Coach, we talked about this a little yesterday, Coach. Kentucky's obviously known for producing a lot of NBA guys, but your Final Four team from a few years ago produced 3 NBA players. What's kind of the difference in philosophy, I guess, between you and Cal and how you're getting these guys who get to the NBA? And maybe Zach or one of the players could answer that as well.
Coach, we'll start with you.
Well, the guys that they bring in are a little more ready-made for the NBA with the size, athleticism, and he gets them better, and he gets them prepared for the NBA and as well as anyone. Ours take a little more time in the incubator and developing and working with them and developing their bodies and their skill set and teaching them to play angry. And the bottom line is, it doesn't matter how you get there. As you mentioned, we've had 4 or 5 in the last couple of years, and we got a couple more on this roster. And you may not know it yet, but you will in a couple of years because we've got no seniors. Our guys don't normally do it in 1 year or 2 years. They do it in 4 years.
Zach, do you want to address that?
I don't know. You know, Kentucky produces NBA players. Everybody knows that. Wichita State guys like Ron, Fred, Klee. Like I said before, we're shooting the 300. It came just from hard work, great coaching. I see those guys when I was a freshman, and even last year, I saw Ron, Fred constantly working, Takeo constantly working in the gym before me at 6 in the morning, and like you would think that all these guys are really talented, and a lot of people are, but it's really just a grind. They be in the gym just as much as we are, and they're getting better just like we are. So I would say just with that,
So time for our last question.
Greg, that lineup that kind of closed the game with these 3 and Rano and Marcus, how did you hit upon that, and why do you think that was as effective as it was?
I liked that lineup defensively. Once we got the 6 to 8 point lead, they were going to attack us pretty hard off the bounce, and Zach was doing a great job. Marcus was doing a great job. Richard was doing a great job, and Rano, and then Landry, obviously. We could switch a lot of their ball screen action with that lineup with the similar size. And I thought also that that was a good rebounding team. I didn't know they were going to block as many shots, but they did. And I would like to finish by saying that, once again, I think Dayton deserved a better draw in this tournament. I'll finish with that.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow.
You had 4 blocks on that one. Was that
Yeah, one possession.
4 blocks in like 6 seconds.
Okay. Give me just a second to get reset. Smith and Pollard. Okay, we are joined by the University of Dayton, and Coach will ask you to give us an opening statement, and then we'll take questions for everybody. So, Coach.
Well, congratulations is in order for Wichita State. What a terrific team. All that they are advertised and more, their depth, their length, their ability to rebound the ball is all spot on. And I was really proud of our team. I thought that was one of the hardest played games we've been in a long, long time. And I think it was anyone's game for a good portion. And you got to give them some credit for some timely shots, rebounds. And then, we sputtered. We sputtered with about 7 to 6 minutes to go and just had a hard time scoring. But I think everybody has a hard time scoring on them. But, a couple of these guys next to me and 2 more that aren't here, what they've meant to our program and how their legacy will be laid out. It's something special.
All right, we'll take questions for either the coach or the players. Raise your hand, we'll get a mic too. Right over here.
Scooch, what was it like hearing your name, Scooch, as you walked off the floor the last time?
Question for Scoochie.
It was a good feeling, a little bittersweet. Had a terrific journey here, the rest of my fellow seniors, and it was real good. But proud of what we accomplished, all four of us, and you know we're not living for ourselves, living for the kids back at home, from where we come from, giving them faith, because where we come from, people don't get this opportunity to play 4 years of Division I basketball and the NCAA tournament. So we're just living for everyone else back home as well.
Right here.
Archie, I don't know if you heard Greg Marshall, but he closed by saying that he believed that Dayton deserved a better draw than this. Do you have any response to that?
They're like a 4 seed. They're like a 4 or 5 seed, maybe. 30-some wins, and you look at the numbers across the board. I mean, every coach studies the analytics. They're a team that can beat anybody on a neutral court at any time, and I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't pushing towards another second weekend. They're a great team, and they're really well coached. Maybe as fun of a team to prepare for as we've had. Actually, it was a lot of fun to be in the game playing against them, because you kind of want to stack yourself up against sort of how they do things to see how your stuff works. And I tell you, we battled really hard. We were right there.
Questions, please. Right here.
Coach, Zarius struggled today, probably his worst game of the season. How do you get him to bounce back from this?
It'll be motivation. A year ago, Zarius didn't get in the game. If he did get in the game, he probably got in a couple minutes. You saw him grow up month by month. Wouldn't have been here without him. He's going to turn himself into a much more diverse player is the big key for him. You know, from a size perspective, you saw some older guys in there against him there tonight. That's what he needs to look like in a year physically. But when you shoot the ball at that size, how he does, you know, you can really start to see the blossoming of what we can be with him as years go by. And he didn't have a great night. He missed some open ones, but he played hard. I mean, he really did. He played hard. Guy shoots 45% from 3 on the year as a sophomore compared to what he did a year ago. I mean, he's got a great future because, you know, he's a great kid and he works very hard.
Questions for the Flyers, please, right here.
Coach, about Kyle, didn't do much on offense, but he just laid his heart out there on defense. What's that say about him?
You know, all these guys, you know, Kyle's a special kid. He's a special kid. He's been a special kid from day one. He's won, I don't know how many games for us by never scoring a point. When you have guys like that, you know, those are the true team guys. You know, they never cared about scoring points. I thought he battled tonight. I look at Frankamp's numbers, and you know, I think that Landry probably made some timely ones in the second half. But I mean, you know, he's a big reason why we were able to contain their perimeter. He did that for us all night. I mean, just a winner, man. One of the best guys I've ever been around.
Questions, please, right here.
Coach, is it different preparing for a game as the higher seed versus the lower seed? You've done them twice each.
No. The numbers are the numbers. They go out the window right after they call your name, and then you start preparing to play a game. And I think these guys will tell you, I don't think we've ever approached a seed in our lives. I think we've always approached the team because we feel like we can beat them. Felt like we could win tonight. We just didn't. Felt like if we would have advanced, these guys would have been ready to try to do it again. And that's the hallmark of a team that believes in themselves more so than anything else. And I think the culture that these guys have helped create, you know, it's going to be hard to carry the torch for everybody behind them every year like this, but they've set a serious standard in the way of doing things, and there's not any excuses that are ever made. And I think, you know, regardless of Wichita State was a 4 today and we were a 10 or a 12, at the end of the day, you got to play the game, and I think that's how we approached it.
Over here.
For the players, Coach mentioned you guys sputtered in the second half, but from the 14-minute mark to the 2-minute mark, you guys were 1 of 16 from the floor. What was it about Wichita State's defense that made it so hard to score on them?
Kendall, we'll start with you.
They're a real connected defense. They was tight, and they was playing aggressive, and we just couldn't make shots. We're a pretty good offensive team, but the ball just wasn't falling for us tonight.
Scooch.
Of course, you got to give them credit because, you know, they're the one defending, but I think it was just more about us. We just had to step up and make shots, and a lot of people on our team, they couldn't get their shots to fall, couldn't get a flow, and you know, that's just sometimes how the game goes, but we played hard enough to stay right in the game.
Right here.
Scoochie, no player wants to go out, obviously, but if you do go out, you know, do you want it to be like a game like today where it's a scrap and it's a brawl like you guys had at Wichita State today?
For Scoochie?
I mean, it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself. You know, you're going out, giving it your all, but as a competitor, you never want to go out on the bottom, so it's just a bad moment, but you know, we did so much in my 4 years being here. We revived day in basketball, and couldn't be nothing more but happier.
We have time for a few more. George, yeah, right here. Mike.
Archie, I know you just lost, but your name's been linked to the Indiana job. I just wonder what your thoughts were. I know it's close.
No thoughts.
Questions? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great season.
Appreciate that.
Thanks, guys.